Hey guys, welcome to our review of Mashin Sentai Kiramager, episode 25. As always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
Cinder Blaze.
I'm Aresol.
Dudes. Welcome back. So we watched this episode yesterday so that you guys could comment on it, so we could respond to it here today. But before that, we will get into our thoughts on it. And I thought, you know what? The stuff with Yellow just sort of like being scatterbrained around the girl was okay, but then the stuff where they were just like the stuff where like when they found the stone and then they just started cheering, I could not get over. And it really feels like we're finally moving the plot along a little bit, because like we made slight mention of the dude with the stock evil laughter that plays. Was it the
Yodon Emperor?
Yodon? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, connections to that. And like really my biggest qualm with the episode was that the changer she used did not turn her into like a full suit thing. It was just like some
Yeah.
horns.
I watched your watch along, and you guys were absolutely right. It was missing a helmet. That's it.
Yeah.
Because the suit is fine. It's just a helmet would be nice, and she'd be a real kick-ass evil ranger.
Yeah, a kick-ass dominatrix lady.
Yeah, it's not just that. Just like that suit would look really good with a mask, like a shiny black like helmet. Oh my god, this.
Yeah, and can you imagine like instead of like just the straight visor, it does like that sideways cut like her hair does.
Right? It would be
That would be cool.
Oh my gosh, someone has to like mail one to Toei and just be like, please, baby.
I will pay you to have this in the show.
Yeah, like honestly, the first thing that stood out to me this episode was that someone was playing it at 1.25 speed. Because holy crap, we just turbo through this episode so fast.
It's really fast.
Yeah. Like this easily could have taken up 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like you stick two potential grantor stones in there, so you'd think it's 2 potential episodes worth of content.
Yeah, but like literally every time like something happened in the scene, like the second like the one action of a scene happened, boom, instant like the commander from the base like, hey, there's a trouble happening in this part of the city. Go there. Boom, they do something there. Boom, they're firing back to find like the treasure. Boom, they have to go back. Boom, they're doing something else. Boom, like they're running down like a freaking like creek, and then Yellow's just kind of like fangasming over the shrine chick, which was super cringe, but he made it up with just like his bro moments with Silver and Red, because
yeah
I felt like that's one.
It's not something that you'd expect out of that trio.
Yeah,
like to be really good friends, but they looked like they had so much joy.
Yeah,
but
I feel like oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I feel like the show kind of like needed some like those smaller like group dynamics, because usually we just get like the pairs for like the problem of the week, or we just kind of have like the whole team with like very diluted like interactions with each other. But like when we have like the little cores, like the 3 dudes just kind of like being 3 idiots together, that has like its own charm. I feel like a lot of Sentai like kind of have like those cohesive like units where they just like play really well off each other. Like for me, like even though it probably wasn't like that good, I remember in Ryu Soldier, Melto, Black, and Green were like a pretty neat kind of unit on their own, because like they kind of like have similar like ambitions. Like they're not like the strongest in the group, but they're definitely the ones that are trying to like prove themselves out there, and like they just kind of like worked well together. For these guys, like they're all kind of like leaders in a way, but to kind of like see them just kind of like work together and like not even like there is like no like leader within like that little subgroup. It's just like them being like
Sure.
just chummy friends. So
Yeah.
it's nice to kind of like see that angle instead of them kind of like forcing like, Wonder or Red being like the leader who kind of like teaches them lesson, or Yellow
Mhm.
being whatever tool he is.
To that though, like what we got was really only it didn't feel like quite enough, and I'm hoping at some point we develop that a little more. But what I hope we don't develop is like a little rivalry between Yellow and the new evil lady. Because like his infatuation, I really hope is not like a setup for a rivalry situation.
What do you
Because
mean
I
by
don't,
like a rivalry?
well, like I don't really see like, because they were making it out like he was super betrayed by her, and it's like,
Oh yeah, that made no
calm
sense.
down.
Like the priest was all like, "Hey, like, there's two visitors here, you and an alien." The alien shows up and she's like, "I like humans," talking like she ain't a human. Like, come on, dude. Like, it was pretty obvious from the get-go. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Overall, wait, hold on. Who directed this? Because you said something. I think it was like that backwards kick, and you're like, "Oh, that's a Sakamoto kick." And I
Oh,
mean, like the colors were, uh, uh, the colors were regular. I don't know. I can't tell if this was a Sakamoto
Colors are
episode.
regular.
No, because
Directed by Kyohei Yamaguchi.
okay, that's fair. Because like whenever Sakamoto's there, he probably just walks into the editing room and is like, "Hey, just turn that saturation and the contrast up a little bit more."
yeah, it was just like that one kick, which was a little weird, but whatever.
I wouldn't say it was weird. It's one of those. Sakamoto does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's one of those.
I'm super happy that I was not spoiled in any way that she'd be turning into something, which I guess technically she didn't really turn into it because her face was still there, but you
Yeah,
know.
and it was
Yeah,
like
but she
obvious
got a
from.
mark and her hair turned.
Oh, good. She got a marker and drew on her face.
And she has a tongue. You guys catch that one? That was.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get into it in the comments, Aerosol.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. But I don't know. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to discuss for this episode?
I thought the episode was fine. I thought it was enjoyable enough. I'm glad we're not just like tossing the Granter Stone plot, in the trash. What they want to do with it is pretty just standard. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess we'll revive her planet. That's fine. Um, it's okay. It was fine. It was a nice setup for whatever next week has.
Yeah. And
Um,
like I know a main criticism for this show is like, oh yeah, the plot's dragging, you're not doing anything with it. And we were feeling that as well. So I'm glad that like, they're getting to something.
yeah,
They're trying.
it's nice to have a new villain
Yeah.
join the
yeah.
ranks. Um, the villain of the week was also very funny with his
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
bowling antics.
Has to be Ted.
Yeah, that transition was like really good though. Like Crunchyroll just kind of going a little bit overboard, made like a really gimmicky villain, like one that couldn't even use his power. Like, he was like 3 series too late for to use his power. Like that's how bad it was. And then she's like, even Garza's just like, you know what? This is a fresh kind of stupid. And I was just like,
Oh my god. Like Overtime was definitely like pulling out the thesaurus for this episode because there were like so many larger words that I have not seen in any of these subs before.
yeah.
And it all came from him. Yeah. Anyway, anything else before the comments?
No, shoot.
All right, cool. So first up, we got Tommy Lulu in the chat and on the breakdown. It says it's nice to have a human actress be a female Sentai villain again. It's been a while since Go Busters. I didn't expect her to be a general. She is going to be great to watch. Yeah, absolutely. Give her a mask.
Makes sense. Well, and I get why they didn't give her a mask since they're doing the whole like old school villain design thing, and that's kind of the role she's filling. But and I don't think she looks bad as is. But yeah, with the changer and having her transform, giving her the mask would have been way cooler.
I would argue that if you took away the changer and still gave her the transformation sequence, I'd be a lot more fine with it. But when you set it up to where like, oh, shoot, that's a changer. I know that thing. That does ranger stuff. But it was probably more like, oh, hey, we have this premium Bandai item that showed up once in the show so far. Fuck, use it again. That's basically all it amounted to. It is interesting though how like she took the mud and I assume this is how you make crystals. You like have to like hyper pressurize it or whatever.
I mean, it was the dirt that was kind of like sitting next to the Grantor Stone, so I guess it's just super magical dirt.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know. Who knows? Double the Unknown says, I wanted to leave a comment last week since it was at the normal halfway point for Sentai, but I got busy and felt like it would be better to leave a comment on this week since I could also comment on Saber, which has now finished its first month of episodes. I'm glad I waited until this week because this episode really eases my worries for the show. I had been worrying because all the plot points were getting resolved that the writers didn't want to move away from the filler-centered portion of the series, but the introduction of the new general that wasn't spoiled in the preview really gives me the impression that the show is finally breaking towards having an actual villain empire. Maybe I'll have to eat my words in a few weeks if we find out everything related to this new general got resolved quickly, but I have more hope now that they are finally moving forward with Jotunheim's plans. Yeah, no, I feel a bit more secure in that regard. I just, part of me is I don't always want to shit on fillery shows because to me, Ryu Soldier was fun all the way through and I had a good time. You can still do them and not really lean too far into plot. Like I will stand by Weisel as the star of the show and carried us all the way through it, and I just wanted to see.
Don't forget Crayon.
Crayon. So I don't want that to be like the benchmark for quality, which it is nice to have that through line, and it doesn't make sense to create media for the sake of creating media, but also creating media for the sake of entertainment is perfectly fine as well, not just to say something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Which is very much Sentai. Sentai has kind of always been this. Like, there are exceptions, of course, but Sentai's always had wacky filler. So it is what it is. It's like I said, there's exceptions, but of the shows that we watch, it's usually not the most like plot heavy series, which is fine. Like you were saying, like these kinds of the shows kind of serve their purpose. They're entertaining, and I have enjoyed almost everything that Kiramager's done. Absolutely. Yeah, there's hiccups, but like,
yeah, I feel like there's only been like one episode that was a hiccup. Like this one's still good.
True. Yeah. You're right.
It's just like a lot more fun to poke fun at because they do a lot of funny things with it.
Yeah, all right. 6 hours ago, Aresol says a lot more tongue action than I was expecting this week. You wanna expound on that?
Wasn't expecting as much tongue action. I don't know what to tell you. were you expecting it?
No, I wasn't.
She was going nuts with that thing.
I was expecting a little bit more tongue. Like, jeez. Like, when she just whipped it out, it was like a little dinky ass tongue. Like, I didn't expect like the full like snake tongue. It was like,
You'd think if a whip could elongate, her tongue could too. You don't know.
Sure.
Hey, Dustin Smith says, man, Kiramager continues to remain impressive. First of all, I like how we learn a little bit more about Judah's childhood through the location of the stone. It was a nice touch. I'm loving the new villain, Yodona. Is that really your name? Yodona? Yodana?
Dodona.
Yo, Donuts! I'm loving the new villain, Yodona. I'm not sure how long she'll last, but I have hope it's going to be one heck of a ride, and I'm looking forward to it. Side note, by the way, does she sing? Is she going to have an insert song soon? Is that why she's here?
I mean, we gotta check, but...
Gotta check. I still have tons of comment to get through. The only nitpick I have with this episode would be I can't believe I'd never be saying... Wait. And I can't believe I'd ever be saying this, but my nitpick is with the Marsk. Bomb Marsk is not really impressing me, and it's a shame because he looks really cool, and his head being one of those cartoon bombs with skull and crossbones for a face. I love that one. that one's great. First of all, I don't get the bowling aspect about him. It comes off so random and out of nowhere. Bombs are ball-like, and he roll ball like bowling ball. What is there not to get? Let's see. He's a bomb. I would have thought he'd toss out bombs that would explode and wreak havoc to the people in the area, not go bowling. I get part that part of Crunchula's character as that he likes to play games, but if he wanted a bowling themed Marsk, then why did he just make a bowling Marsk? Just grab a bowling ball and use your whatever magic to transform the bowling ball into a Marsk. They're done. But regardless, I'm still liking Kiramager, and I'm looking forward to seeing the Kiramagers getting their power-up forms and more Yodana.
Like, literally the premise of the show is to BM humans with their own antics. Like, you just can't... If it's that good, it's not nearly as, like, humiliating. It has to be, like, something so stupid that you lose to. And that's how they get their energy, dude. That's how they feed.
Can you believe this entire race fell to a bowling ball? An entire people, an entire planet.
Exactly.
But yeah, those are all the comments.
Still just, his powers only work if he gets a strike.
I love it.
He's so absurd.
He missed his first one.
Like, he didn't even go for a spare either. Like, he had to set them all back up. This one and done, dude. You don't get a second try at this.
I've never seen a building so crap with their power. Oh my god.
That means the villain whose powers work solely on off of him being a bowler isn't a good bowler. He's not a good enough bowler to use his own powers.
Yeah, and could you imagine how humiliating that would be? Man, he wasn't even good at bowling and he bowled you to death. But yeah, do you guys have anything else before we end off this episode?
No, I'm good.
Alright, cool. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts about this episode. And also, there are still links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do, as long as you do it. It absolutely helps. There's also, at the end card of this video, a playlist that I put together. Someone on Twitter had curated a bunch of videos that were accruing ad revenue to send to the Black Lives Matter movement. So if you don't have money and you can't donate, just watch through those videos. or just leave them on in the background. And you know, you're donating. It helps. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep it
Juicy.
Yeah. Catch you later.
Bye.
Whew. I gotta say, we did get a little shaky in the middle, but we got through it.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I
For
don't know
real.
if I mentioned that, but I'm tired.
So